We've just gotten a truckload of new Assassin's Creed Mirage footage thanks to various content creators and news outlets that were invited to play early. And we also got confirmation of a certain cosmetic that I'm very excited about, so stick around to the end. I'll go over my thoughts on what we've seen, but first don't forget to drop a like down below and subscribe if you're new here so you don't miss any future videos. I also just want to quickly thank JawRaptor, Turrell9 and That Boy Aqua, who were kind enough to let me use their footage. I'll link their videos in the description so that you can check out their full impressions and more gameplay as well. Let's get into it. Right off the bat, I want to say that I'm very impressed with the art direction and level design. I'm so happy that we'll be back in a large, densely populated city that's full of rooftops and beams, and visually it captures the early games, which is what the devs said they were going for, so from that aspect, they've nailed it. Many of those who got to play the game early have expressed that the parkour itself is just fine. It's a step up from Valhalla and the previous RPG games, but if we're being honest, that's a pretty low bar. The increased speed and smoother animations have been praised, but it's essentially a refined version of what we've had in the past 3 games, and is largely saved by the level design itself, which is what I've been speculating for a while now. Turrell9 posted parkour footage over on the subreddit and answered some questions, one of which was about the lack of back and side ejects. Interestingly, he responded saying that they are in the game, but just not in the way you hope. He didn't elaborate, but I take that to mean that it's purely contextual and can't be performed manually like the older games. Now this was already confirmed by the devs a little while ago, but I was hoping that they might have changed their minds based on feedback. I honestly can't fathom why they would make the decision to not include this feature that adds so much more depth to the parkour, especially when they claim to be going back to franchise roots. But it is what it is, and I'll take what I can get. The city itself does look great to explore. We finally have some uncut combat footage, and it's very much a blend of the RPG fighting style with the countering system from the original games. Those who got to play it said that Basim has a very low pool of health and that it's difficult to take on more than 3 or 4 enemies at once due to their various attack types and unforgiving parry window. Now personally, I love the sound of this. Combat, in my opinion, should always be the last resort behind stealth and parkour. After all, Basim is an assassin, not a warrior. They also mentioned how tools play a very important part in both stealth and combat, with a wide variety of options like smoke bombs, blow darts, throwing knives and more. I much prefer this to the over-the-top powers of Odyssey, for example, but I am somewhat biased as a stealth player. And speaking of stealth, it's been consistently the most praised aspect of gameplay across all the previews that I've watched so far. Social stealth is back and is implemented much better than it was in Valhalla, along with pickpocketing, and the last known position system returns, originally featured in Splinter Cell Blacklist and carried over to Assassin's Creed Unity, and it shows a silhouette of Basim where the guards think that he currently is, and you can use this to your advantage to set up traps, which is awesome. I'm still not sold on the multi-assassination glitch ability. I've got no issue with multi-kill abilities in general. I just dislike the fantastical nature of how this one's presented, and I wish it was more like Batman's Fear Takedown, or even Sam Fisher's Mark and Execute, but with throwing knives. Its extreme range and speed just seems very cheap and overpowered, even for a multi-kill ability. It's a nitpick, I suppose, but I'll probably just try to avoid using it, to be honest. As I mentioned earlier, we also got confirmation of one of the legacy outfits that's coming to Mirage. Andy Reloads on Twitter confirmed that Ezio's Revelations robes will feature in the game. It's the first time that it's been a legacy outfit, despite the great deal of demand from fans, and I'm very happy that we're finally getting it, especially as it fits the game's aesthetic so well. Now I just need Altair's robes, which we get in pretty much every game, and I'm all set. That wraps up my thoughts on the previews we've seen. Overall, I'm happy with what we've seen. I think it looks like a good balance and blend between the original games and the RPG series, so hopefully fans of both will be pleased. Don't forget to check out the videos in the description if you'd like even more detail from those who actually got to play it. I've got a few videos planned over the next few days and weeks, but it was just recently confirmed that we're getting Spider-Man 2 previews and gameplay on Friday.
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm!
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down!
I'm obviously super excited about that, and I'll no doubt be talking about it, so stay tuned. Have a great day wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one.